is my weekend of promoting my book, Follows and Likes, Is This All That I'm Worth? That I just came out yesterday. So I am really excited about it. You can get it on Barnes & Noble, and you can get it also on Amazon. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, I pinned it on Instagram, and it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. So I have yesterday did just a little recap. Yesterday I did the introduction of the book and chapters 1 through 8. This morning I have done chapters 9, 10, and we are now on chapter 11. Yay! Okay, and so on chapter 11 is really, really important. Okay, chapter 11 is on thoughts. All right, you cannot have a goal, achieve what you want to achieve, um, be successful if you don't know what you want first, right? So the idea of our thoughts and the power behind those is really, really important for you to understand. Your thoughts, whether they are negative or positive, can ultimately drive the way that you go in this world. Okay? So let me give you an example. I like to quote here Jim Quick on this one, because he calls it, you need to kill the ants. And ant stands for A for any, N for negative, and T for thoughts. Okay? Any negative thoughts, kill the ants. They gotta go. They've got to go. So anything that you have in your mind that is a negative thought, you need to replace it with a positive thought. So, and just like many books, there's that we talk about poverty, talk about, oh, these children are in poverty. We need to think of them, and we need to bring, abundance to them, right? We don't need to cure poverty. We need to help everybody live in an abundant way, right? So when we think about poverty, we visualize people being poor. We need to change that and say, I want to help people have more. And when you say it that way, you think about having more instead of thinking about scarcity, right? Let's use it in this sense of the word. When you talk about, I have so many bills to pay, you visualize bills, right? But when you say, I have money, you visualize money. So it's reworking your mind in order to make sure that what you want in your life, you're thinking of what you want and not what you don't want. If you say, I don't want to be fat, you're visualizing being fat. But if you say, I want to be healthy, I want to be thin, you're going to ultimately visualize what it is that you want to be. So changing that way of speaking to yourself, whether you're a child, whether you're an adult, is really important. Don't tell yourself what you don't want. Only tell yourself what you do want. Does that make sense? So, this is chapter 11 for and chapter 11 is thoughts. What do I want? So I always start each chapter with a specific quote, and the quote for chapter 11 comes from Eleanor Roosevelt. Okay, and she says, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Okay, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Okay, so it's not just enough to have that thought of what you want, the thought of your dream. It is also important for you to believe that you can achieve it or have it, right? So I'm going to read you the beginning of this, and then at the end of this chapter, we have the story of Maria Trusa. And with Maria, I'm going to show you, she is from Dominican Republic, and the power of the mind. So The beginning of the chapter, chapter 11, starts as all of our goals and dreams begin with a thought. And so in this chapter, we will talk about the power of your mind as your mind ultimately helps you believe or not believe the things that you can do in this life. So I wanted to take a closer look into your thoughts because your thoughts ultimately power what you do or don't do in life. Okay? We are bombarded by thousands of thoughts every day, and your dominant thoughts are what create your reality. If you are often having thoughts of doubt and negativity, then most likely you are not being very successful in your daily activities. However, if your thoughts are more on the optimistic side, then you likely see things as happening for a reason. And usually that reason is to your benefit. Okay? So, do you have a morning routine? Or do you just roll out of bed, scramble to get ready for the day, and just go? If you do that and you don't have a morning routine, you really need to get a morning routine. You really do. It can set your day up in a whole different light. I always start my day with a prayer on an app that I read, and it gets me in the right mindset. As I talked before, I do gratitude. I sit quietly for 5 minutes after that and I reflect on what I read and listen to the silence because oftentimes the best things come to our minds when we just allow ourselves to sit in silence and quiet everything else around us. I then state 10 things that I'm grateful for, as I had mentioned in the chapter on gratitude, which was chapter 7. So, having a morning routine, thinking about your thoughts and your goals and writing them down is really important. I have a vision board, okay, that I use for my long term goals, right? My daily things I use and I put in my agenda for daily and weekly goals. I look at my vision board every day. This book right here was on my vision board 1 year ago. I even have the picture. Okay. I had me next to a book and a pencil. Like it didn't look exactly like this yet because the idea of it all didn't come into fruition yet. However, this book was on my vision board exactly 1 year ago. And here I am today because it started with a thought. And then the thought takes on the action, which we will get to. Okay. I use an agenda for my weekly goals and my daily goals. This helps me keep those goals in my mind and it helps me to focus on doing things each day that are small steps to get to those things I want in my life. One further step other than seeing them, I also make statements is if I already have what it is that I am working towards. This helps me to believe that I can get to that point in my life. So, as I write this book, when I wrote this book, as I was writing this book, I would say I'm so grateful that I finally wrote my first book and it has been a great success. This just reaffirms that I am going to do it and it will happen. And it did happen as I am here and it is now on sale at Barnes and Noble and on Amazon, right? And it's going to be a great success. I mean, it's already a success. And I know some people have already bought the book. So that is a success, right? And I'm going to make it even a bigger success. So when you do this and when you think about things like this, I want you to remember that talking about it, believing that it's going to happen, saying it, taking your thoughts and making it into words and declaring that you already have it is really, 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 really important. Okay. So you can read the rest of that chapter in the book Follows and Likes. Is This All That I'm Worth? That you see there on your screen. But now I am going to go to the story of Maria Trusa. Okay. Like Maria also went through traumatic experience as a child. And however, today she is one successful lady. So Her quote that I start her story off with is, "There is no human being alive who doesn't have a gift or a talent, something good to share with this world. Focusing on that is the cornerstone of empowerment and success. There are no limits to the heights we can reach when our self esteem is reinforced." And that is from Maria. So, Maria Trusa is a native of the Dominican Republic from a town called Licey al Medio near Santiago and Moca. She was one of 5 children, and this is where she spent the early years of her life. She lived with her mom and dad. She knew her father is a good man for a few years, but unfortunately, he became an alcoholic, and this destroyed her family. Her mother got to a point where she couldn't take it anymore. Maria and her siblings were living in multiple different houses as a child because her father didn't pay the rent and they were thrown out of the house. She remembers always walking around without shoes, which she got used to, and her mother took used clothes from other people and sewed them into clothing Maria could wear. Maria remembers that her mother always kept her and the home clean and organized, even though they were poor. But a point came when her mom needed to do something because she had no money or food to care for Maria and her siblings. Her mom had to leave and go to the United States with with her 2 oldest brothers, leaving Maria behind with her other siblings. At 8 years old, she was left to care for herself and live with another family. However, the tragedy that would leave the mark that she would carry with her for the rest of her life and almost kill her came at the age of 9 when she was sexually abused one night. Now, to hear her whole story, you can read it here in this book. Maria also has written her autobiography called Yo Digo No Más in Spanish, and you can also get it in English called I Say No More. You can watch Maria's story on YouTube, on her YouTube channel, Yo Digo No Más. As well, you can hear my interview with Maria on my podcast, The Secret to Success Isn't So Secret. So, this is Maria. This is her story. And it goes through showing what she did, all of the things she overcame to be the success that she is today. From a poor young girl who was sexually abused at the age of 8 years old, um, and to be who she is today, a very strong, charismatic, brave woman who is now using her voice to help others who have experienced the same thing. So, this is chapter 11 of the book Follows and Likes. Is this all that I'm worth? So, please make sure you get a copy for yourself, for your teen or young adult that you know, or if you don't have children, then please get a copy for someone who does and gift it to them, because it really is not because I wrote it, but it's really a good resource for any young person to help them believe and understand what true success is in the age of social media. So, I thank you for joining me for this one. I will be back in about an hour again for chapter 12. In chapter 12, we have desire. How bad do you want it? And the story that comes after that chapter is from Jonte Hall, former Harlem Globetrotter. So make sure you come back and listen. And thank you so much. Go to Barnes & Noble or Amazon, get the book, and bye for now.